Howdy folks, welcome to part 3 of A Runner's Tale. This one is supposed to be about my diaries, and it will be. I'm at Gibraltar Point National Nature Reserve today, bird watching. What's he doing there, you think? Well, for me, bird watching and running are like fish and chips. They go together perfectly, like Eric and Ernie. Gin and tonic. Not that I know anything about gin and tonics. So during this week I've been wondering how to do this diary episode, and in the process I found this. This is the secret diary, which absolutely nobody else has ever seen. Even I hadn't seen it for decades. This one covers June 1976 until December 1978. 2.5 years as a junior athlete. Now then, this first diary, it was a bit of a revelation the other day when I had a quick look through it. I thought, my God, I was slow. You know, I got a lot faster a few years later, but this, you know, as a 17-year-old, those first 18 months or so, bloody slow. 2.5 minutes, I think, for 800 metres, something daft like that. I got a bit quicker, but I had a right old laugh. Now then, folks, if you think bird watching is for wussies, this is a path through Gibraltar Point Nature Reserve. It's flooded. Good practice for the cross country. I'm just looking at this first page. Did a few races. I wasn't as slow as I thought I was, actually. I did an 800 metres in 2 minutes 13 seconds, and another one a week later, or a couple of weeks later, in 2 minutes 5.6. Not as bad as I thought. Did a 1500 metres in 4:20, finished second. And what could possibly have been my first 5,000 metres as a 17-year-old, club championships, 17 minutes and 2 seconds. Awesome. I got a bit quicker. I don't think I was training every day. Just looking through the diary here, there's a lot of blanks. The proper diary didn't start until later. I have noticed on this first page, one of the track sessions I did was, which became quite a standard one, I think, and a lot of people do it, 8 times 400 metres on a cinder track in training shoes. Yeah, pretty atrocious. 69, 69, 66, 69, 66, 66, 66 and 69. Consistent. We do a lap jog recovery, but that quite possibly could have been one of my I was going to say one of my first track sessions, but there must have been some before that. I just noticed there's a 4x600 I did a week before. I never liked doing 600s, they were hard work. I've turned over the page, and just a few weeks after the first 5,000 I did another one in 1614, and then just a few days later I did yet another one in 1655. That was at the Spalding Relays. Pretty bad. And then, I think the day after that, by the look of it, I did 4x400. And I had some speed. 58, 62, 70 and 66. Speed but no stamina. And then a few days later, did another set of 8x400s. It's getting better. 67, 65, 63, 64, 65, 67, 67 and 64. not what you call consistent, but at least it's a huge improvement. And then a few days later, 4x400s, 62, 64, 61 and 60. Getting there, getting there. And then I'm looking at some 3 times 800 meters, just it's a month later. 215, 220, 225. What can I say? Then there seems to be a big jump from track season to cross country. Must have been back at school. Nothing got written down. So November 6th, 1976, I think it must have been my first North Midlands League cross country race at Kettering. I finished 56th. It got better. A few weeks later, another North Midlands race at Peterborough. I finished 37th. So, big improvement in just a few weeks. It's a shock to the system. Completely new to me. So, steep learning curve. So, a few days after that North Midlands League race at Peterborough, I did the Grimsby and District cross-country champs. 24th. I think that must have been with the seniors as well. Because a few days later I did the Grimsby Schools Championships and I won it. That could possibly have been the first win of my career outside of running at school. And then a few days after that it was the club Christmas handicaps and I finished 4th. And then it was Humberside Championships. Grimsby was in Humberside back then. Now it's all by itself. North East Lincolnshire. Then we got another North Midlands League race at Derby. 43rd. Now these last 2 races I've written down here. I had a very bad stitch. I had that regularly in those first couple of years. I really had to work on my core strength. Then the diary jumps to February and it's the Humberside School Championships in Hull and I won it with a stitch. That was a big problem, really was. Work on those abs, kids. Stitch can ruin many a good race. Now then, after all those school races, it jumps to the Eastern Counties Cross Country Championships at Amped Hill in Bedfordshire. I finished 6th. That's pretty good, that. I'd only been racing a few months. Then my first English National at Parliament Hill. I finished 86th. Awesome. I'll be going there again in a few weeks' time to photograph it. Parliament Hill is absolutely mega. And then what comes after that? We've got the Hull and District Championships. I finished 3rd behind a couple of really good guys, top internationals. And then it was the English Schools Cross Country Championships at Redditch. That's the only time I ever did any English schools. Finished 29th. I said, very bad run, tired, probably an understatement. Funny old game. Let's jump a bit, shall we, to May 1st, 1977. It's a Links League in Grimsby. I think that first cross-country season had worked wonders. I did, I think, at least 3 races. Did an 800 metres in 1:58, 59 and 59. I won that easily, apparently. I did a 200 metres, that was the only one I ever did, in 25.1, and I got second. And then 3,000 metres, which did turn out to be my favourite event, actually. I did a lot of them. 8:43, and I won it. After following the leader around for 6.5 laps, and then I blew him away. Sounds about right. That's how I used to race a lot. Just sit and wait. Good enough for Steve Ovett, it's good enough for me. Jump ahead a bit to May 1977. About late May, 22nd of May, it's Links League Athletics at Scunthorpe. Did the senior men's 800 metres as a guest in 1:55.6. So, improvements. And I also did a junior men's 1500, same day, in 4:01.2. Huge PB. And I did a 4x100 relay. The third leg, bend runner. Who'd have thunked it? Jumping ahead to June 6th, Lincoln Open meeting, 3,000 metres. Apparently it was wet and blustery. The cup was presented by none other than Sebastian Coe. That's the one and only time I ever met him. I'm trying to find somewhere out of the wind when there's no direct sunlight. Anyway, back to the diary. Saturday the 18th of June, Northern Counties Athletics Championships, Kirkby in Liverpool, 3,000 metres, Junior Championships. I ran a big PB, 8:30. I think that could have been my first time ever on an all-weather track. Yeah, tartan. Just being distracted by a red shank. Sorry. I finished 4th. I think Nick Lees won that one. It was quite a shock to the system. My body didn't know what was going on. So, you know, it was a lot faster than I ever raced before for that distance. Just missed 3rd place, apparently, by 1 second. So, the following year, I won it. And we'll go into that in some other episode, not this one. I think this is going to have to be the last bit of this episode. Summer of 1977, under Northern. Then, you know, a few weeks of track workouts. Did some races. Did another 3,000 metres at the Winterton Show, grass track. Not what you call flat, it's a bit lumpy. I was doing, let's see, 10x300s, 6x200s, 8x200s, 4x800s. I'm not listing this in order, just saying some of the things I was doing. Did a whole triangular match, 1500 in 4.6, with a 3000 in 8:47. Next day was a 7x800. Don't recommend it, kids. Did a Links League meeting at Lincoln, grass track. Did a 400 metres there in 54.2. It's not bad for me, that, especially on grass, after several other events. And then the highlight of the summer of 77 for me was the 3A's Junior Championships at Crystal Palace. That was the first for me. Not first place, but first time running there. Junior 3,000 metres. I finished 10th in 8:32. So a little slower than they ran at the Northern. James Espier won it. Nick Lee's second. Mick Morton third. I came back the following year and I got second. Much faster. I'll have to talk about that in another episode. I think that's all for today. I'm frozen. I'm hungry. Not had any cake today. So yeah, give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.